Hey everyone, day 7 and 8 has passed, so we're going to go over the progression I've made over those past couple of days. On day 7, we got the Ling Lo event for the you can claim her, right? You have to complete all of these previous missions, but they're not too difficult, and then you also get an SSR lattice plus Ling Lo herself. Unfortunately, I did pull a dupe of her straight after I got this free one, which is a little unfortunate, but it is what it is. Then I pretty much spent most of day 7 and 8 just continuing to farm some shells and also some GP outpost to level up my skills on my units. So let's go over some of the progress I've made on the units. Keep in mind, I have spent a little bit of money to get some of the extra lattices. But I also got some off from Leanne, so I took these ones off that I previously had on her. So there was like 2 of them, so I could... no, I think I had 3 on her, and then I could put those onto other units. Then I built her back up, and just let her sit at just the basic stat lines. And she still works okay at the moment. Obviously, she doesn't do as much damage, but it's good enough for my purposes. And I primarily use Rosa and Rumoko anyway. Now, this is the Rosa build I'm using at the moment. Those are her stats. These are her modules. So I'm mostly on Battle Will to get Battle Will 8. And I have a little bit of a mix of Onslaught and Swift Rush, mostly because the shell is providing that, right? I could use a Battle Will White Fang, but because the best gear I have available to her is the actual Battle Will set itself, I decided not really much point giving her a Battle Will shell at this point, so instead I just got her some alternative stat lines from other set pieces instead. And she does pretty good damage on this, and I have maxed her S2, which is the most important for her. And then now I'm sort of deciding where else I'm going to put any of the SSR skill ups. If you want to continue progressing skill ups on Rosa, I think S3 is ideal because you get the cooldown reduction at the end, and that will help maintain her her self crit buff, right, from S3, and allows you to do it more often. However, S1 is reasonable as well because it improves her attack. That you get very important attack nodes here, so you could do that as well, but it's up to you. I think either way is not too bad of a choice. Then this is the stats on the Leanne, and these are her modules at the moment. Now with the outstanding ones on the right side, I think they're worth going to plus 15, generally speaking, at least for now. Because you'll probably need that to help push you through some of the content. Same for like any of the other units that I have built. Left side, I try to leave it at plus 12, but it depends on the unit. If I feel like it might help push me through some sort of content, then I'll level up the left side. Now this is the Remocha matrices. These ones, the Fury sets, are from the rank up pack, and I think that it's a pretty worthwhile pack if you're willing to spend a little bit of money. The rank ups, you get they unlock every 5 levels, I believe, and for one of them you get like a triple matrix Fury set. To complete the Fury set, you pretty much would need a shell that has Fury on it, which is what I did here. Obviously, ideally it would be 3/3, but I don't think it's too big of a deal because with 2 Fury, as long as you have like 2 modules with 3 Fury subs, then matrix, then you'll reach the 8 Fury anyway, and going to 9 doesn't make any sort of difference since it caps out at 9. I'm trying to get a memento set on her, but I would need a one of the harvest pieces needs to be a 3 matrix. That way I can take one of them off and put in a momentum set. This will allow me to get an extra 12% crit rate, and I think it should allow me to take this one off, and as long as I get some decent crit rate subs on those other 2 pieces, I should be able to maintain her 85% crit rate, I think. But I'll see when that happens. I'm trying to farm for another 3 matrix harvest now. Well, today I will be anyway. And for her prowess, she has maxed S3. I think this is the most important one. If you're going to use it for Dokidoki, you would like this one because it makes her S3 basically like a full AoE. And it does a lot of damage, of course. The speed subs are nice, not actually what you're really looking for on her. You actually more want like pure damage, but you know, speed's never like a bad thing, I guess. But it could help. It could hurt your tuning a little bit because she'll be very quick, right? Getting the S3 speed subs plus your shell having a lot of base speed, it will give her a lot of like a fairly decent speed for a DPS unit, in my opinion. But yeah, you're basically just trying to stack crit damage, attack, and crit rate, of course, on your modules. For the main stats, I'm using crit rate times 2 and a crit damage. I would ideally like to take off one of the crit rates, right, so that I can get more either crit damage or attack. And yeah, we'll see how that goes. But I will need some extra crit rate subs for her. If you want to progress her further, personally, I think S1 is nice for their bonus attack. S2 improves the AoE of this S2, but I think what your goal is to make your S3 do as much damage as possible. It is worth noting that you do get some crit rate subs here, so that could help you build her as well. And maybe just go all out. I think that's reasonable as well. So yeah, you could go either way, S2 or S1. I like S1 because it gives you the attack, and that just does more raw damage, right? And with the shell, one of my guildies did suggest to use a different one actually, which you could use if you want to. I just wanted to mention it because I think it is important to note for it, which is this one, Crossroads. It boosts the damage before you attack, whereas Weifang does damage, or it boosts after you attack. So Weifang is good for longer term fights, which is pretty much what I'm doing. I have to use a sustain with Sanya. But once you are looking into doing full damage builds and just like one-shotting the first wave, I think this shell is going to last you a fair while. Because the next upgrade comes at, I believe, no, not this one. The count, yeah. So the count is the mythic equivalent, and you know, the base is like 1,000 attack, which is quite a lot. I think this will be really nice for like one-shot builds on Ramoka, but it's going to take you a while to get to this guy. So you know, you might want to use Crossroads to begin with. So it's a little bit of a tip there. So these are my 3 DPS, right? These are the stats, and Dina is my main defense breaker at the moment. I'm still trying to chase a Kloss, but these are her stats, and these are like the modules. You can see I'm not as upgraded on these because these are like kind of like backup gear, right? They're unique quality, which is very low, but I just haven't found anything to replace them with, so it's just gonna stay like that for a little while. Hopefully I can get a little bit faster, because I actually ideally want her to be faster than Lily, because I want to use Dina and Lily together in Terramaton as like the support units, right? Until I get a Kloss at least. And I want the defense breaker to be first, because otherwise Lily will boost the DPS and there won't be a defense break. So the goal is to try to maintain Dina's speed to be above Lily. It's pretty close at the moment. So this is Lily's speed. I think they're like pretty much equal, very close. But these are Lily's stats, and module stat is this. Shell, I'm still using Black Flag, and Dina is on the Gigabyte. There is a better shell for debuffers, but it doesn't come until a bit later, so I'm just using this for the time being, and this will probably get moved later on. But for now, this is what I'm using on Dina. She is also a lot more progressed on prowess. So I've maxed S3. S1 I've maxed almost. I haven't used the last ladders. I just don't think this is really worth increasing the action still at the moment. I don't really need it. But I did want all the speed nodes here, right, to keep up with the Lily. S2 I've almost maxed. I'm unsure if I really want this one, but I mean, I'm out of lattices anyway, but I'm considering maybe doing this because it is technically extra damage. There's more stacks of erosion. What the erosion basically is like a bonus damage, and then for a unit that attacks after or while the erosion debuff is on the target, and then once you attack it, one of the stacks gets removed. So having 3 means, you know, the next 3 attacks will get a bonus damage, which is quite nice. But if I get a Kloss, then I might not. I might hold off on that and just build a Kloss instead. Chiaki the Echo is another highly invested unit that I have at the moment. This is where I put most of my lattices actually. So she's maxed S3. I think that's the first one you want to do. Maxed S2. This is also really important because this increases the number of allies that get buffed by this ability from 2 to 3. Unfortunately, it is random, so it's probably not as good as a Freya, but I don't have a Freya anyway. So I'm just using Chiaki, but I'm quite enjoying using Chiaki because she's easier to invest into. Because you can see here, I've also almost maxed her S1, and I probably will invest the next lattice into her because 100% chance to purify is quite good, and if I could ever build like a bramble set on her, then she can also counterattack and purify. But these are her stats. This is my fastest unit, and yeah, I feel like she's well worth it. I do need to upgrade her shell. She's currently using a black flag. It is a decent black flag though, because I have a 10 purple speed on her. So it's actually better than just like a base gigabyte. But if I can get a gigabyte with a shadow dash, then that would be a pretty nice sizable upgrade to her speed as well. And I've been using her pretty much everywhere. She's good for everything because attack the turn meter boost is really good with all your nukers, and in PvP basically what I do is in RTA I will pick Chiaki and Lily. Previously when I was doing that, she was a bit slower. It was still working, but I think with a higher speed this will work a lot better. And because people would generally just ban your Lily, right? Because you know, Lily's an LD unit and everyone knows she's broken. So they ban her, and then Chiaki is actually going to be my fastest unit. So then Chiaki will hopefully go first, boost Dina for defense break, and then I have a couple of different options for nukers. Generally speaking, I will mostly use Romoka. She does the most damage out of them. But all of them can cleave, so I'm basically using a cleave team for both RTA and for the normal arena. In normal arena, I just use Chiaki the boost, Dina to debuff, and then just 2 DPS. And it is a pretty stable wipe against most people. At least so far, anyway. I'm not super high. I just hit platinum on day 8. Yeah, that's those. And the last unit that I have heavily invested into is Sanya, so that's the last one I'll go into. These are her stats, and these are her modules. They're not very high leveled because these are also very low quality ones like unique and epic. But hopefully eventually I can boost. I can progress more into Terramaton and improve a set. But for now, it's working okay. Because I just need her to be tanky and do a lot of healing. I don't necessarily need her to be on speed, but potentially I could make her on speed later if I farm more Dokidoki instead. I'll just replace the Wellspring pieces and just keep the Cure ones, because I do want to keep the Cure set. And her prowess is max S3. And I'm slowly working on S2 as well. I think it is worth getting her up because it improves her healing by a fair bit. But of course, these purple lattices are my bottleneck at the moment. Now I do have a few other units built, but they're nothing too crazy. The only other unit that is worth mentioning at the moment is my Kazuyo, who I use in Dokidoki. Right, and these are her stats. And her prowess is only leveled on S3. I haven't bothered with the other ones. Shell, I'm just using the star to hopefully give her some cooldown reduction, right? So just so that she can use her S3 more often. It's not super reliable because like she still has turn. Oh, there are some times where on wave 2 she doesn't have her CC up, usually it's like 1 turn remaining, but it's a higher chance at least to have it up. And yeah, that's the crowd control unit I'm using for Dokidoki at the moment. Now, as far as the progress is concerned, I have gotten to 27 on Ember Track. I'm a little bit bricked here by the Messiah. I haven't tried it for a bit, but I'll probably try it again maybe tomorrow or something. I need to farm up a bit more, but there's plenty of time to like do the whole thing, so I'm not too fussed about it. And Anti-Sync Echoes, this one I'm stuck on the last Borgne, and this is also one of the hyperlink requirements, so I'm stuck on that. But we'll work on that soon as well. Now for the thresholds, I'm able to clear Hell 3. It's mostly consistent. It does fail once in a bit. Like if I do since I'm going to do 5 times. In the 5 times, I can usually expect 1 fail. I don't think I've done it 5 times with all success yet, but I think 1 fail out of 5 it's fine. And now I have a chance to get some of the higher matrix gear, so hopefully that can help level up some of my gear to push into Hell 4. And that's where I'll be working on over the next couple of days. And a big thing to mention is that the double resource event hasn't been announced. We got the calendar for the next couple of weeks, and it's not mentioned anywhere, which is really unfortunate. I'm hoping we don't have to wait 2 weeks or an additional 2 weeks until we can see that event. I'm hoping they'll just announce it maybe in 1 week's time, especially considering on the beta, it came out at roughly this time back then. I'm just hoping they're just delaying it maybe like another week, just so that people can catch up and get into like the higher difficulty farming stages. But yeah, previously I suggested just to hold off on farming things like investigation and prowess material. But I think now, because we don't know when it's going to come out, just farm these as you need them. Especially GP outposts. These are just permanent upgrades to your units, right? And you need them to skill up your units, of course. Therefore, just farm them as you need them. Once the double resource comes out, you're gonna farm that regardless, because you're always gonna need a lot of these materials for all the units that you're gonna want to build in the future. So once double resource comes out, you'll probably just farm maybe 2 refills in each element or something like that. Maybe 3 if you just like want to ignore a couple of them for the time being and focus more on, say, the RGB ones if you have a lot of RGB ones to make. Or if you have if you're really lucky and you had like only LD units to build, then just split it between these 2 and worry about the others later. That sort of thing. You have to see what you need on your account and farm accordingly. Animus XP, I still wouldn't over farm this, but I think it is worth noting that for any unit that you're not going to run in a PvE area like module drop or shell drop, those units, it's more worthwhile to fully level up through these experience tokens, right? You can carry some units in this once your units are strong enough. For example, you might run like Dina plus Chiaki plus like a Nuka, such as Ramocha, and then you can carry 1 unit to slowly level that one up in here, right? That is a possibility. Similar thing with the GP outpost. Once you are much more comfortable, you have a couple units that can basically 2-man the fight, then you could bring in 1 or 2 units to leech some XP and just make it a little bit more efficient, right? But that might be a little while away, but that is a goal you could work towards. Now, shell drops, I'm a little bit stuck on Sharon. I haven't progressed in this, but I will try it again probably over the next couple of days, because she's going to start dropping shells that I haven't had access to before. Like this one, I really want this for like Kazuyo, because reducing the cooldown would be nice. I'm actually not sure if that's technically better than Star, but I'll have to double check. It has a pretty short cooldown though, that's quite nice. This one is like the healer one, that's pretty good for Sanya, who doesn't, well, she's still using like an epic quality one, right? This one is the one I actually want for Dina, because this one extends the duration of the defense break. It makes it 3 turns, and it also has a 3-turn cooldown as well. So that allows her to apply the debuffs and keep them on there for a lot longer. Additionally, if I ever get a Kloss, this will be great too. And this one is okay. I'm not sure if I really use this one, to be honest. I don't think it's that good, to be honest, but there's at least 3 that I'm interested in, right? So yeah, I'll be working on that hopefully, and I farm the GP outburst as needed. I've also been doing some of this new content, Ethernet Rally. This one, just to explain how it works, you go in, there's a big map. I know it looks very scary when you first see it, but once you get used to it, it's not too bad. You have 3 starting points, which are these green flags here. Each flag has a separate element. So this one, I think it's the red team. Let's see if I can. Oh yeah. So this one's the green team, and this is the blue team, right? You can also use LD units in both, in each of the different elements, but for the RGB, each point is limited to 1, right? So you basically just clear towards the bosses, like the bosses here. You have to clear, or you can clear these to get some extra rewards, right? You get some rewards there. This Animus one, so you'll get a choice between 3 different Animus, and it's basically like a support unit that you can use in your battles, because you have to have 5 of basically basically 2 elements, right? As you can see here, I can only use dark and blue, and if I don't have 5 units built, then I can use one of these Animus supports to fill in the slot to help you clear the content. So then once you reach a boss with 1 team, another team also needs to unlock all the nodes prior to the boss, right? So basically this one and this one need to be cleared, and then this one you have access to. You'll then have to attack the boss with both teams separately and clear it with both teams. Once you've unlocked that, then you'll progress into the inner part of the map, and you can start clearing towards the next bosses, right? So there's another 3 mini bosses here, and once you clear all 3, then you get the final boss. And there's a whole bunch of rewards, with these boxes along the way, so it is worth working on. It's not a big rush to clear it. You have time, but you will eventually want to clear the whole thing, so just do it at your own pace. It gives you some stuff to do while you have no energy anymore, right? Now PvP wise, I have progressed to Diamond in normal arena, and I'm still in gold. I haven't really done that much RTA, but to be honest, I've done a little bit on stream. That's pretty much it. I'm sitting at gold here. In PvP, I'm trying to push to where are the rewards? So I would like to push the master at least, because at rank up you'll get some of these rewards. If you can get mythic, that would be great, but I think it's going to be quite hard to get to mythic. But if you can get the first time, you'll get an SSR lattice. Still, maybe like, just over 2 weeks, so maybe it is possible. You just have to get to how is it? 3,100 points. I'm at 2,500 or so at the moment. Yeah, so almost 2,600. And to get there, I think it is worth pushing with arena tickets if you're like consistently winning, right? If you're getting stuck and apprentice it too hard, don't bother refreshing. It's a bit of a waste, but at least for now, while we're still in the climbing phase, you probably would like to climb up as much as you can, and to see how you go. Because usually with these type of games in PvP, you'll reset back down to like a rank that's not too far down from where you ended, right? So let's say if I finished Master 3, I'll get pushed down to probably Master 1 or maybe Diamond 3. But at least for the subsequent weeks, you don't have to like fully push like all the way back from like Bronze or whatever, all the way up to Mythic, right? So once you are sitting comfortably in either Diamond or Master, then you can work a little bit slower and just use your daily tickets to push if you want to, and yeah, just make your progress that way. But just keep in mind also that you will want the shop tokens. Therefore, it's another reason why you might want to refresh a little bit. Just keep an eye out on how much currency you're earning, and make sure you buy out at least these 2 lattices. The prototypes are nice and the shadow prints are nice, but they're not super important. You could skip them if you want and wait for the restock. I'm unsure if these ones will restock every week, but we'll see. We've only had one week, and I don't think this one restocked this week, because I'm pretty sure I bought this last week, but unless the duration is maybe longer, I don't remember for sure. And we're going to have Fearless Arena over the weekend, so I'll have to do that. Just keep in mind that you want to at least participate this 3 times to get your stamina potion, and save them up for hopefully a double resource event. And just to go back on that, I haven't used any of mine, so they're still sitting here. And I do recommend probably just to hold on to it for now. I think it is reasonable to use them if you really if you just really want to push. However, I'd just rather not burn a chance of using these on a possible double resource over the next couple of weeks, because when you do double resource in Threshold especially, this is where you want to use all of your potions. You'll get double the number of drops, right? And if you're able to farm Hell 4 at that point, that means you're always going to get double mythic quality shells, not shells, modules. And that's going to help progress your account so much once you get to that point. But until then, I think you just keep progressing and trying to unlock the modes as you go, get as far as you can, and just prepare yourself for that hopeful double resource at some point. Alright, so that pretty much covers everything I've been focusing on for the past couple of days, and I'll be looking to progress hopefully Hell 4 in Dokidoki, and we'll see how we go. Alright, thanks for watching guys, and I'll catch you in the next one. Bye bye.